Okay, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and start recording. If you log on, be sure to mute yourself so as to be efficient and respectful of Cassie's time that she's taken because she has a Zoom with her team pretty soon. So please make sure that you are muted, and I'll go through and do that in a second. Also, you guys, what Cassie has for us tonight is absolute freaking gold, okay? It's amazing. I've already heard a lot of these tips, but this is something that y'all need to know. I hope you have your pen and paper out. I hope you have your copy and paste ready. So I'm going to introduce Cassie real quick. There she is. Hi. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me? Am I echoey?
No, you're okay.
Okay, I'm in my bathroom because, like, if I don't, my dog will attack me. So I'm like that mom in the closet where you're like ignoring the kids, you know, because that's my life. So I'm making sure I'm not echoey at all.
You're all good. If we need to turn it down a little bit, we can. But you guys, this is Cassie Nero. She just went Presidential Diamond, and this girl's earned like $5 million in bonuses. Not really, but quite a bit. Everybody make sure you're muted, please. We've got a lot of stuff happening. Hold on. Is everybody muted? Who's not muted? Okay, I think we're good now. Okay, no, but Cassie's earned like $200,000 in bonuses or something like that. How we met was at the airport in Tampa. I don't know if you remember that, but that's where we met, at the airport, and we just sat and started working together because she's very, very one team, one mission. And we flew on the plane together, which was so much fun. And she's just one of those people. She is hardworking, you guys. She's very hardworking. If something's not working for her or her team, she figures out a way to change the game, not just for herself, but for everyone. So, Cassie, just give us a little overview of your story, and then we'll dive into some Q&A.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know who I am, obviously my name is Cassie Nero. I am 27 years old, which is crazy to think about. I joined this business when I was 23 in 2015, and I was a full-time working hairdresser at the time. So I literally worked 40 plus hours a week. I was that person, you guys, that literally have somebody not muted.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're totally fine. Okay, so I was that person, you guys, that had literally every excuse in the book as to why I could not be successful at a business like this, okay? I was busy. I was shy. I did not know very many people. I was living in a city, brand new to that city at the time, launching my career as a hairdresser, in which I knew nobody in that city, okay, other than the relationship that I was in at the time. And so I had literally no friends, you guys. I'm not even exaggerating when I say my friends were my coworkers, and I didn't hang out with them outside of work. So I didn't have that list of people that I could go contact. You know, when we get started and we're like, go find your 4 little customers, I was like, I don't know where those people are going to come from, but I guess I'm going to figure it out. So I was just that person that, you know, kind of had every excuse as to why I couldn't be good at it, but I had one reason why I needed it, and that is what made it work for me, okay? And at the time, just to give you like a little backstory, I had actually started as a customer. Erin Tweed is my enroller, for those of you that obviously probably know who she is. I found her on Instagram, randomly scrolling through my feed one day, and I was on my way to work, and I passed her before and after picture she had posted on Instagram, of all things. And I was like, I don't know what It Works is, I don't know what that product is, but I have to have it in my life. It was about defining gel. And so I was like, I need that, I need that, I need that. So I remember messaging her, and I asked her for information about the product, and I was like, listen, like, I don't know what this is. I don't know how much it costs. I probably don't have enough money to afford it, but if you can get it to me, like, I want it in my life. So I'm messaging her that.
Hey, hold on just a second. Can you guys mute yourself if you just signed on? We're hearing a lot of background noise.
Hey, if you can, since you're the host, if you don't know how to do this, because it's gold.
Here, I'm going to mute everyone, and then you unmute yourself.
Okay. Boom. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I just know, like, I can hear myself, so I'm like, I know when you watch the recording, like, it'll be so loud, so that's why I was like stopping myself. Okay, so basically, I joined as a customer, and I watched her page on Instagram for 2 days because I had no clue what It Works was. I just bought this product from this random girl on Instagram, and I never do that, right? I was the person that like was never active on social media. I just got on to watch what other people were doing with their lives because I was nosy. I never actually like posted on Instagram or Facebook or anything, so it was really random that I found her. It was a total God thing. And come to find out, she lived 5 miles from me. You guys, like, if that's not God, I don't know what is, okay? And so it was just kind of like in my mind for 2 days. I was like, I feel like I need to ask this girl what the heck she does, because she was a nurse, she was working full time, she was making a great income from her phone, but she was also maintaining like a job and a family at the same time. And I was like, I don't know how she does that, but I need that in my life, because she was traveling and making friends, and she was so positive and happy. And those were all the things I was praying for in my life at the time. And so it was just kind of like a perfect fit, even though I had always had these negative ideas about network marketing because I never saw myself as a salesperson. So I remember reaching back out to her, and I asked her for information. I was like, I need you to sign me up. She was like, no, girl, you're already signed up. I was like, no. Like, I want to do what you do. And she was like, oh, okay. So then we started talking about the business. Come to find out, she lived 5 miles from me. We met in person. I signed up as a distributor, and I never looked back. And so because of that decision, you guys, in 4 months, I went diamond. I earned the $10,000 bonus that we had at the time. And that following October, so I joined March of 2015. That following October, I quit my job, and I started doing It Works full time, and I've been doing it full time ever since, which is the most sentence that's ever came out of my mouth, because I never envisioned myself being successful at a business like this. And so it's just been the absolute biggest blessing in my life. I mean, bonuses are bonuses, but you guys, the residual income and the freedom that this business has given me, and the person that I've become throughout life and throughout this business, is the biggest blessing of all. So that's just short summary of my story and kind of what's gotten me to presidential. And that's not even really touching the surface, to be honest. That's just giving you like a, this is how I joined type of story. But I would talk literally for an hour if I tried to tell you every detail. So.
But you're not a really, because in big settings, you're not like a really, what's the word? Outgoing, super outgoing extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of tip do you have to someone who's like, okay, I'm really kind of to myself. How can I make this work for me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big, like, you guys, I literally call myself a hermit all the time, because I literally am such a silent worker. Like, I work very closely one-on-one with my team. But outside of that, like, I do Zooms and trainings and stuff like this, and like, I'm totally cool with it. Like, it's like, I'm like, great. But when I first joined you guys, like, I literally, getting on a Zoom like this, I was like, wait, what? How many people do I have to talk to? I don't know how I feel about that. And I would just sit there and like have to write on a piece of paper like all my notes of what I was going to talk about, and like it was awful. And I was just super shy. But the biggest thing that this business allowed me to do, through doing my own trainings or talking on a Zoom or going to an event, no matter what it was, or going to a meeting, because when I first joined, we had meetings at hotels and at Erin's house, and there was like 5 or 6 of us, and my first meeting was 5 people, and I walked into her house and I was like, what? Like, I have to talk to other people that I don't know. And then she made us share our story and why we joined. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And so it was like everything that I did was terrifying, but it pushed me out of my comfort zone. And that's the biggest advice that I can give you, especially if you're new or if you're trying to emerge within your business, is to get out of your comfort zone, because the only way you can be successful in this business is if you're willing to get uncomfortable, because it's only when you get uncomfortable that you can grow and you can do things that you normally wouldn't do, so that you can get results that you normally wouldn't. Because I can tell you there's a very small percentage of people in this business that are willing to do what most people won't, so they can have what most people don't have. Right? And you have to make the decision of whether or not you want to be that small percent, or you want to be the person that just sits there and hopes that it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I love that. I love that. And you also touched on, you were never active on social media. Mm-hmm. So how did you grow your network?
So you guys, I was the person, like, I kid you not, I posted pictures of like the wall. Like, that would have been a picture on my Instagram. Like, I'm not even kidding. There was no pictures of me with friends or myself, or selfies were like not a thing. Okay. And so I just, like I said, I was not very active as far as like posting and interacting and things like that goes. So I was probably the last person that Erin ever would have reached out to and said, hey girl, I want you on my team, because she probably didn't even know what I looked like, which is hilarious to like look back at what my Instagram looked like then compared to now. Like, it's just insane to me. But the biggest thing, you guys, that she taught me, that I teach my team, is being consistent and being active on social media and creating your presence consistently every single day. It doesn't matter if you're posting 2 to 3 times and they're very intentional posts, or if you're being half-ass intentional and you're posting like more than 5 or 6 times a day, right? Because everybody does things differently and everything works differently for everybody. And social media has changed so much since I joined. Like, she was always like, post 3 to 5 times a day. Well, I still post super consistently within my posts and my stories every day. I have not missed one day since I started this business 4 years ago. But my posting has changed a lot since I started this business. And I'm not posting as much of what's not really relevant, and I'm making those posts more intentional on what I want people to see content wise. Okay. And I'm still learning, you guys. I'm still learning to do things differently and create a brand for myself, because you learn so much as you go within this business. But the biggest thing for me was figuring it out. She said, post 3 to 5 times a day. And I was like, about what? And she was like, the 3 for 3 rule. Like, you're going to post about your life. You're going to post about the products. You're going to post about the business. And I was like, well, I don't know crap about the products. I've never used one. I just started the business and I don't really have a life. So what do I post about? And so her biggest tip for me was something I share with all of my team when they're first getting started. And that is, I create a list of leadership that inspires me. Okay, so people at different ranks. It can be Ruby, it can be Diamond, it can be Double, it can be Triple, it can be Prez, it can be anybody. And I found somebody, for those of you who don't know who Courtney Bohr is, I followed her heavily when I started, because she was a college student at the time, and she was similar to my age. She's not married, she doesn't have kids, and so we had very similar lifestyles. She just made a whole lot more money than me at the time, because I had just joined, and that was the kind of money that I wanted to be making. And so I said, well, this girl is doing it this way. I'm going to mimic what she's doing, and I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to fake it till I make it. And that's exactly what I did, is found somebody that resembled where I wanted to be, that had a similar life to me. Because the biggest thing for me, you guys, I'm just going to throw this out there for those of you that might be in the situation that I was in, was that I'm not a mom. I don't have kids. I'm not married. I don't have a family other than my, obviously my personal family. And so when I was following like our leadership, like our top leaders, everybody is a mom mostly, and everybody has kids, or everybody has this active lifestyle, and I didn't have that. And so I was like, well, all you guys post about is your family and how it's affecting your family and the family time that you get, and family, and I don't have that. So what the heck do I post about, and how do I follow what you're posting if I don't have that in my life? Like, what is my story? What do I post about? Who am I? You know what I mean? And so for me, it was finding the leadership that resembled where I wanted to be, that had a similar lifestyle to me, and mimicking what they were doing, and figuring it out. And you guys, like I said, my profile looks so different than it did when I joined 4 years ago. You guys, I was the spammy person, okay? Let's be honest for 5 seconds. I was the person that posted what you're not supposed to post, which is all these word swags and before and afters, which I still post before and afters, but I posted them very differently than I do now, right? And so it's not that that's wrong, because you're learning and you're being consistent, but you're going to learn to produce content in a different way as you grow in this business. That's going to create your brand, but it's also going to make you stand out from other distributors, where someone's going to look at your profile and say, oh, this girl looks fun. Like, I wonder what she's like all about. And they start looking at your posts, but at first glance, they have no idea what you do. That's the goal. When they look at your page, they should have no clue. When they look at your pictures, like on Instagram, for example, when they look at your first 6 to 9 pictures, they should not have a dang clue what you do. So if there's before and after pictures, or there's blatant like sales ads, or all these pictures of products and things like that, like that's what you don't want to do, because that shows like you're salesy. You know what I mean? And so it's not bad, because you're obviously excited and you're wanting to share things. There's just different ways to go about it where it's more eye-catching to people. So I'm just giving you a specific example. Because like when they start to read your posts and they start to get into your content, they should have every idea of what you do. meaning everything that you post about should be related to your life, to your, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, like incorporating the business into your lifestyle, right? Like you could make a picture about your outfit of the day and have a bottle of defining gel in the background and not even talk about defining gel, but it's there, right? It might not be obvious, but it's there. And you'll hear all kinds of different people talk about how they post content and stuff like that. But that's just my advice. Like you want to be obvious about what you're doing as far as being consistent about talking about it, sharing the opportunity, sharing the products and what they've done for you, and sharing your personal results, but also it not being like a sales advertisement. You know what I mean? And that goes for Facebook too, because even though it's not like all piled for them to look at, like you still don't want to be like, you know what I mean? Am I good? Am I going?
How many times a day should you post on Instagram? If you're posting once a week, Cassie?
Yeah, when I started, I posted probably, when I followed Courtney, you guys, when I started, I kid you not, posted 15 to 20 times a day, literally on Instagram. Okay, she does not do that anymore because a lot has changed with Instagram and Facebook. So I would say I'm more consistent posting on Facebook on a day-to-day basis because 99% of my business comes from Facebook. I work Instagram, but not as heavily as I do Facebook. And that's just not because I don't like Instagram. It's just because my niche is Facebook. That's what works for me. That's what gets me instant results. I know what I'm doing, and that's what I like to do. And so I'm learning to branch out to other platforms, obviously. But Instagram, I would say, from things that I've learned personally on trainings and things like that, trying to learn more, I post once, maybe twice a day, maybe if you're lucky. But I try to do one at least minimum because for whatever reason that's what people say. Like nowadays, like some people will post more than that. Like you'll see bloggers post very frequently throughout the day, and that works for them. But then I hear other people that are like, okay, post 1 to 2 times a day, and that gives consistent content without blowing people up because it's like a different atmosphere than it is on Facebook. You know what I mean? So I don't know too much about Instagram as far as that goes because I'm still learning that and figuring out how I want mine to come across. You know what I mean?
Right.
But those are some changes that I've made.
We have a lot of girls that use Instagram because their age is 18 to 21, 22. Mm-hmm. So we have probably 200 girls that are in that bracket. And so should you leave, and there's a lot of you on here right now, you don't leave your page empty for 7 days at a time. You don't leave your stories empty of products, the business opportunity, and what you're doing that day. You leave that. So Cassie, touch on that. I mean, talking about all social platforms. If you're not talking about it, your business is non-existent. What do you think about that?
Okay, so let me give you guys an example, okay? Target. Who loves Target? If you say you don't, you're lying because everybody loves Target, right? So Target opens at the same time every single day. They have a strict schedule, right? They close at the same time every single day, okay? Your business is like Target, okay? Now, let me elaborate with where I'm going with this, okay? Every day you open the door to your business by posting. Because that is saying, hey, here's what I have to offer. This is my product. This is my opportunity. This is my business. This is the thing that I am sharing on a day-to-day basis. That is you opening the door to your business every single day, just like Target opens their doors every single day, okay? Are y'all with me so far? Making sure this makes sense, okay? When you walk into Target, how many times do you have somebody that walks up to you that's an employee and says, can I help you with anything today? How are you doing? Right? Okay. At least once, right? Because Target employees are usually very friendly. Okay. Them asking you if they can help you with anything, do you need anything, is just like you messaging people. It's you reaching out to somebody and saying, here's what I have to offer. I need to share this opportunity with you because you would be fantastic at this business. Or here's this product that I have to offer and I'm looking for new brand reps in my business and you would be absolutely perfect. Would you be interested in A, B, or C? Because I'd love to have you as a new brand rep within my business to represent what I'm sharing. Okay, so you asking and you sharing is you messaging, just like when an employee walks up to you and says, can I help you with anything? Okay, so that's opening the door by posting. That's sharing and asking by messaging, because I don't care who you are, in order to be successful in a business like this, you have to talk to people. It doesn't matter if people are messaging you or you're messaging people. You have to talk to people on a daily basis in order to get enrollments, in order to grow your business, because it's an enrollment-based business, right? That's how you grow in this business. And that's how Target succeeds, because they have employees come in every single day, and not employees, people come in every single day and buy something from Target on a daily basis. They have thousands of people. And unless you're crazy like me, you don't go there every single day, right? But they have new people come in and out every single day, thousands of people, right? So when you're adding to your network, you're bringing in new people to your business every single day. The same 5 people don't walk into Target and shop every day at the same time, right? Just like the same 5 people don't want to see your posts and your product and whatever on the same day every single day when you're posting, because those 5 people might be interested, or they might have already signed up, or they might not want anything to do with it, and that's okay. But who else are you going to go to after those 5 people you've reached out to have already had a conversation with you and they're either not interested or they already signed up? Who else are you going to reach out to now, right? So when you're reaching out and you're adding new people to your network every day, you're bringing in new people to your business, just like Target brings in new people every single day. So it's just like a business. And my point of this, guys, is to point out that this is not a hobby. Okay, this is a business. And if you want this to pay like a business, you have to treat it like a business. So you have to open your door every single day by posting. You have to, especially if you're working social media, you have to be adding to your network and bringing in new people on a daily basis, so that new people are seeing what you have to offer, because you never know who you're going to add on social media that needs what you have to offer. Had Erin had to have followed me, or I had to follow her, I have no idea. We still don't know to this day. But had that not happened in some way, shape, or form, I never would have seen her post, and I never would be living the life that I'm living right now. And that literally blows my mind, that I just happened to be on Instagram and happened to see a post scroll through my newsfeed, and it happened to be her, which happened to be local and happened to be an opportunity that literally transformed my life in 4 years. It's mind-blowing. And that's absolutely God. And so I promise you, if you do your part, He's going to do His. But guess what? You got to do your part first. So you got to be opening the doors. You got to be consistent. You got to be adding new people, and you have to be sharing the opportunity, because you guys, posting is not asking, and asking is not sharing. Okay? So you have to be sharing it every day for those people that might be afraid to reach out to you, or they might be afraid to respond to a message or something along those lines. But then you have to be making sure that you're doing those 3 things consistently every single day. Just those 3 things. I mean, you'll obviously do a whole lot of other things behind the scenes when you're trying to promote and do all kinds of other things, like host posts, which is something else we'll talk about. But you have to be consistent. Bottom line, you have to be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, if you showed up to Target tomorrow and their doors were closed at 10 a.m., I don't know about you, but I'd freak out. Okay? Because you expect Target to be open, right? So this is the same thing. Like, I have been so consistent with my business since the day that I started, that if tomorrow I didn't make one post, I would promise you I'd probably get 20 phone calls. Are you dead? Or are you unconscious? Because that is not like me, right? And that's what you want to be, is the person that's consistent. Because if you're posting every day and you're consistent and you're following up and you're reaching out to people, and then there's this other distributor who doesn't do any of the above and maybe post every now and then, who the hell do you think they're going to reach out to? Or who do you think they're going to remember?
That's right.
Because if you're following up and you're doing your part, they're going to remember you. But if you don't do that follow-up, or you don't make that post, and someone else happens to reach out and they don't remember who you are, they're going to sign up with somebody else because you didn't do your job.
And they're not going to take you seriously. So why would they want to be a part of your business?
Exactly.
So let's talk about you going Prez, because you guys, all of these ranks that you can promote to are life-changing. Ruby was life-changing for us. And then Emerald and Diamond and Double and Triple has been, gosh, just a whole nother level. But you needed 50,000 in volume to go presidential. But you decided, and there are so many women on this team that are looking at 2,000 BV going, oh my gosh, no, I can't do it. I can't even look at the number. So I'm not going to work at all, which is stupid. You cannot let that deter you from greatness. So instead of you getting overwhelmed, you got to work. So how did you get your team involved and on board in producing like you? Because this is a team effort.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you guys, any promotion is a team effort. It should always be looked at that way. Like, you join this business for selfish reasons. And I say that with love, meaning you join because you need A, B, and C for yourself or for your family, right? That's why you join this business. But when you start to build a team and you start to sign distributors that are trusting you to help them do the exact same thing, it's a team. It's not what can you do for me, it's what can I do for you. Okay. And until you change your perspective on that, if you're that person that doesn't think that way and you look at a chart and you're like, I need 5 distributors so I can go diamond, you'll never hit diamond. I'm just letting you know right now. It's just not going to happen because you have a selfish mindset. So if you want to be successful, you have to help other people be successful first before you can get to that point. Because guess what? To go presidential, you need a triple, a double, and a diamond. To go diamond, you need an emerald and a ruby. So who do you think those people are going to be? Because that's not you. That's 2 other people. Now, whether you're putting in the work and helping them get there and you're placing and things like that, however you work your business, that's a different story. But you have to get there with a team, not by yourself, right? So at the end of the day, I think over the course of 4 years and hitting different promotions, especially presidential, you guys, as crazy as this sounds coming out of my mouth, presidential was the easiest promotion I've ever gone for. As crazy as that sounds, the easiest, like least stressful until the last 24 hours, the least stressful promotion that I've ever hit. And that was because I made a decision. Okay. Here's bottom line. Here's the secret. You have to make a decision. Because if you tell yourself, I want to go diamond this month, and in the back of your mind, you're not fully committed to that decision, and you tell yourself in any small amount of doubt, it's okay if I really don't hit it. Like, I can hit it next month. I'm not going to die. Of course you're not going to die. But if you give yourself the out and you tell yourself that it's okay if you don't, guess what? You're not going to, because your subconscious has already decided that you're not going to do it. But if you tell yourself, I'm figuring this out and I don't care what I have to do to make it happen, it's happening no matter what. No ifs, ands, or buts. I looked at that, you guys, at the beginning of February, and I already knew leaving conference. My goal was to go in March. On my dream board right now, I have March of 2019 as presidential. I have my check written out and everything I was going to do when I hit presidential for March. Okay. And then we went to conference, and he announced all this stuff about the charts and compensation plan. I was like, oh no, this is happening in the next 20 how the hell I'm going to get 50,000? No reason with this change that can't happen. Why? Why can it not? Why not? Right? Why not? That's literally all you have to ask yourself is, why can't you not do it? There's no reason at all. It doesn't matter how far you are. It's just a decision. So I partnered with my leadership and I said, are you guys ready to do this? Because I'm ready to do this. And everybody was on board. And that's the biggest thing, you guys, is communicating with your team, because it's a team effort, and helping other people get to where they need to be before you focus on your own. Okay, so I didn't pull out a press chart. I pulled out a diamond chart, I pulled out a double chart, and I pulled out a triple chart. And I said, hey, triple, what are we doing to go triple? I said, hey, double, what are we doing to go double? Hey, diamond, what are we doing to go diamond? You guys, my diamond was a ruby when she went to conference. An old ruby. So she had 5 distributors. She had just hit ruby the old way when she went to conference. Okay, she showed up to conference, had an epiphany, and went diamond in 28 days. God. Okay, it was literally a decision. And I can't repeat that enough times, because it's literally you deciding that you're going to make it happen and not giving yourself the opportunity to give up or quit when it gets hard. Because I promise you, the months that you try to promote are going to be the hardest months of your business, because every obstacle the enemy can throw at you, I promise you he will. Whether it's business related, whether it's a customer quitting, or canceling their order, whether it's a distributor that just signed up, you're using as a 400 box and they're like, psych, this isn't for me, or they ghost you, or if it's something that happens in your life that completely takes away your attention. No matter what it is, it's going to happen, I promise. It's happened to me every single time I've gone for a promotion. It's happened to my team every time we've gone for a promotion that's that life-changing, right? But you have to make the decision, because at the end of the day, it's a business and life is going to happen. and business is going to happen. And you have to decide how you're going to react to it and how it's going to affect you to determine what type of results you're going to get from it. Okay. So when I tell you that there's going to be obstacles and challenges, I mean that with every ounce of my being, because it is so true. And I'm sure that they can attest to this too, because they've gone through many promotions as well. Right. So it's life. It happens. Right. But you just got to decide to move forward. So lock arms with your leadership, make the decision. Everyone needs to be on the same page. And you guys, ultimately what I did was I just focused on their promotions. I focused on them hitting their promotions first. I locked in everything that they needed. And then I had the last couple of weeks to just focus on what I needed to bring in, which was that minimum volume. And that was surprisingly the last thing that I was worried about, as crazy as that sounds, because it was so much volume. But I just knew it was because I had already decided, you guys, He showed up so much in my life and so much in my business last month and so much in my team's business. I was praying, I was saying affirmations every single day, and I have not stopped that. But you guys, prayer goes such a long way. If you're not a religious person, I wish that you were, because God is so amazing. And I tell you, he has shown up so much in my life and my business over the past couple of years, let alone this year and alone. And it was just time, and I just knew, and I felt it in my gut. And as far away as it seemed, I just knew it was time. I knew. And I had done my growing, and I had gone through my life, and I had reevaluated my team, and I knew I had the right people on board to make it happen, because they were hungry and they were ready and they were working. And so, some of the things that we'll get into in a second were things that got us to that point, and just making sure everybody was trained and working and, just focused ultimately. But I just focused on their promotions first, got all of them locked in and ready to go, made sure everything was good on their end. And then I worried about me. And I'm not saying that if you're worried, you're not, don't worry about your own promotion, because obviously it's your promotion too, right? But I can tell you guys, like, mindset wise, like, this is the first promotion that I have never been worried about, like I said, or questioned, because it was just like, as long as I do what I need to do for my team, then they're like, if I show up for them, they're going to show up for me. Bottom line. So you just have to have that. You just have to have that perspective. You know what I mean?
So to segue into the next part, if I show up for them, they're going to show up for me. So there's a specific question that I was sent today. Okay. When your team, and this particular team under me is a young team. Young in months that it's less than a year old, and ages 18 to 21. When your team has been fire for months, and this is a crucial time of momentum, because people are promoting left and right. We've never seen so many triple diamonds promote in just such a short time. But when many of your team and your own leaders aren't answering your texts, calls, or participating or showing up, and you feel like it's kind of in a downward spiral, what do you do as a leader, especially when most of your team doesn't pay attention to Facebook?
Okay, so I don't know how y'all's team works, but with mine, we have a team page on Facebook, and everything that is important in this business is on that team page. Okay, so everything we do as far as training is through Messenger, is through our team page. Literally everything I do with a newbie or somebody that's seasoned in the business is all on Facebook, because you can't do that on Instagram, right? So if I have somebody, and most of my team works Facebook. I mean, there's like a couple that work Instagram, and everybody just does things differently. Like, again, we're not opposed to it. It's just not something I've ever been taught or ever like really learn to be good at. You know what I mean? It's just a different platform. But for me, if I have somebody that doesn't utilize Facebook, I don't make them work Facebook, but I make them get a Facebook so they can tune into the team page. Because if they ever ask me a question, or it's something related to something I posted that day, I make them go look at the post that I posted. Because for me, growing in this business, it was so important that I be plugged into our team pages when I was growing in this business, because I knew all the important information I needed to know, if it didn't come from Erin's mouth, was going to come from that team page. And so that's a way for you to connect with your team on a larger scale. Okay, if you have a smaller team, Facebook chat works great, because it's a way for you to communicate with them on a daily basis outside of texting. Now, I am a big believer that you need to have personal relationships with your team as well. Okay, that should be obvious, but Obviously, when you're growing in this business, you get more and more team members, or your team members get team members, and your team starts growing, especially at a fast pace. It gets hard to be able to communicate with everybody, right? On a one-on-one basis, because like you might not know everybody on your team, right? As it starts to get big. I know that sounds crazy to some people right now where you're like, wait, what? Like you literally will get to a point where you don't know everybody on your team or your downline. And so your like a team page or a chat or something like that is very beneficial to being connected to everybody on a large scale so you can reach everyone. That's just how I've always done it. But I also communicate, especially with my leadership, one-on-one via text. I text them, I call them, I have that personal relationship with them because I work really closely with my leadership. Now, I have had plenty of times in my business, you guys, where I have worked closely with leadership and then they quit, or they vanish, or they slow down. But guess what? I'm still going. They decided to get out of the car and I kept driving, okay? Because they had the opportunity to sit in and buckle their seatbelt and they decided to jump out while it was still moving, okay? That's not on me, that's on them. Because I'm doing my part by moving the car, right? So you have to remember that not everybody is gonna come with you, obviously, right? And you'll hear this so many times within your business that you're going to want this so bad for your team as much as you're going to want it for yourself, or you should, right? If you really want to be successful, you're going to want other people to be successful, but not everybody wants it for themselves as bad as you're going to want it for them. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. And for me, I'm like, why? I don't get it. Like, why would you not want it? I just don't get it, right? But not everybody does. And unfortunately, they just don't. And so you just have to remember that you cannot drag people. And you cannot take them and force them to get in the car with you if they don't want to go, okay? So when I'm choosing leadership, or if I'm saying I'm going presidential diamond and I need a triple diamond leader, and I want to work with somebody who wants to go triple diamond, right? If I have somebody that's well on their way, I have that one-on-one conversation with them. I'm like, listen, girl, I want to help you get to triple diamond this month, and I want to make that verbal communication with you that I'm going to be here for every single thing that you need, and I want to run with you, I want to lock arms with you, and I want to do this together because you can't get there without me, and I can't get there without you, and I want to do this as a team, as business partners, okay? But they have to be on the same page. And if they tell me that they're not ready, that's cool. I'm going to go find somebody who is, right? So you can't get down on yourself thinking, oh, this person doesn't want to go with me. What am I doing wrong? Because it's nothing you're doing wrong. It's just that they don't want to go and they're not ready. And let me tell you guys something I have learned, and I just have to say this because somebody might need to hear it. Something I have learned so much over the past 2 years, reaching for this promotion and charting myself 3 or 4 times and not having the team that I needed to go for that promotion, I have realized every time I've gone for a promotion and then looked back at it a couple months later, I had a completely different team than I did when I promoted to that promotion, okay? When I went presidential last month, I have a completely different team than I did when I went triple. And all of the people that were on my triple team that I thought were going to be part of that presidential team are no longer within my business, as crazy as that sounds. Diamonds, double diamonds, rubies, emeralds, every rank. People that I thought were going to make a significant difference in my business and were going to go with me to the top, quit. And they gave up because life happened or something got in the way. But ultimately, whatever excuse it is, it doesn't matter, because here's what matters, okay? It wasn't part of the plan. Because let me tell you something. When you go Ruby, or you go Emerald, or you go Double, or you go Prez, or you go Ambassador, you might have a completely different team than you did when you started. And that's okay. Because the people that are supposed to be a part of that promotion are going to be part of that promotion. And the people that can't go to that next level with you, because every time that you rank up to a new leadership rank, it's going to demand a new level of you. Okay? You're going to become a whole new person. You guys, I'm a totally different leader I am today than I was when I went Ruby, or when I went Diamond, or even when I went Triple. And you're going to go through a lot of life. You're going to go through a lot of business, and you're going to learn a lot of lessons and overcome a lot of challenges and obstacles along the way to get to that next level of leadership. And you guys, after I hit Triple, I thought I was ready for Press. I was like, I'm ready. Let's freaking go. I was always motivated. But mentally, looking back, I was not ready. And I was not the leader that I needed to be. Even though I felt like I wasn't. And I had to go through a lot of things the last year to be able to get to the point that I'm at right now, to have the mindset that I need to have the work ethic that I need to have, and to have the motivation that I need to have. And it's on a completely different level because of the things that I had to go through to get to that point, right? Whether it's a struggle or whether it's all blessings, whatever it is, that was part of God's plan for my business. And that was part of his plan for the people that he placed within my business. And that's what I mean when I say I knew I was ready, and I knew our team was ready because I felt it. And he just kept repeating to me that it was time. It was time. And we all felt it. We all knew it. And we were all together on it because it was the right fit for that promotion. Okay. So you just have to know that every time, like if you're going for promotion right now and you have people that are part of your business that were working and now they're not, or they're not communicating with you, why are you wasting your time? Because ultimately, that's what you're doing, right? And I don't mean wasting time on them. I mean, get on the phone with them, have a personal conversation and say, listen, this is where I'm going. Are you in or are you out? If you want to go at your own pace, that's totally cool, girlfriend, and I will be here when you are ready, but I am going quick. I'm getting in the car, I'm turning the ignition, and I'm going fast. If you're going to get in, now is the time. Because I want you to be in that car with me, and I want you to be a part of that promotion because you're the person that I want to lock arms with, and I see potential in you. But if you are not ready for that, you have to let me know. Because ultimately, you're not there to force them to do anything that they don't want to do. And you can't force somebody to do something that they don't want to do. And you can't force someone to be in a position that they are not meant to be in. Okay? Because if that's not part of God's plan, hello, he's telling you. If they're not replying to you and they're not saying, hey, I'm ready, there's obviously something off. Okay? And it might take that one conversation. You might reach out to them and say, hey, I'm really ready and I really want you to do this with me. But if you're not, that's cool. Just be real with me. And if they say, you know what, I'm so glad you reached out to me because I've been feeling some type of way, or I've had life going on and I just, was questioning my place in this business, but now I'm ready. Like, I'm so appreciative that you reached out to me because you guys, that's all it takes. That's what leadership is. That people just want to know that you care. Okay. And you're there to guide them to be successful. So if you just have that conversation, that could be the freaking spark that lights their ignition, and they just run with you. And then maybe they don't reply. Because I can tell you, I had several people on my press chart when I tried to go press that I thought were going to be part of that promotion. And God instantly pulled them out of my business. And I was like, wait, what? Like, that was not the plan, God. What do you mean? That's not the plan, right? But then you realize when they get replaced, he always removes something so he can replace it. And that plan is always so much greater than whatever plan that you have. I promise you. Even when you don't understand it, when you're going through it, I promise you it is so much better than whatever you think whatever you have planned. Seriously.
It's so good. Okay, and I want you to wrap up with the logistics because you are the host of Post Queen. What you taught the other night has changed all of my enrollments. Literally. Hey, will somebody mute themselves? I'm not sure who it is. But I want you to go over the host of Post and what you're using. Hold on, let me mute all real quick. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so I'll briefly run through kind of how it works, just so you guys get the idea. But I do have, if this is cool with you, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to sit on here and rush everything, not give you guys all the information that you need, and then y'all be like, wait, but I want more. Because for me, I'm if I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, okay? And I want to spend the time that's necessary to tell you. So I have a training, a YouTube link that I'm going to text you. And I did it with Kelsey Thornton and her team a week ago. And I literally go over every detail, every message, everything from start to finish of what you guys, it's 2 hours long. I'm just going to warn you. It's literally 2 hours long. But I promise you, it'll rock your world. Not because I'm giving you all the good tips, okay? It's just because it's literally what's worked for my business. It's what's worked for my team. And everybody that I have shared it with is like, oh my God, this is amazing. Because it's just it's freaking awesome, okay? Because it just gets you results. And so I want to make sure if you really want to take it serious, you're going to take the time to watch that, because I promise you it will be worth your time, okay? So I'm going to text it to you really quick because it's on my phone. And then you can either put it in the meeting. Yeah, no, you're good. You can put it in the chat, or give it to your team or whatever you want to do. I just texted it to you.
Okay.
Okay, so that covers everything and all things host post. So essentially, you guys, breaking it down just to give you like a sneak peek, if you didn't watch the Zoom the other night, of like what that training covers. I focus heavily on host post. Okay, so for those of you that might be new or you don't know what host post is, it's basically you reaching out to people, asking them to do you a favor by putting a post on their wall on Facebook, or you can utilize Instagram if you're Instagram people. I would suggest doing it on your stories, like creating a story on like Over is my favorite app in the world. If you don't use it, you need to go download it because it's amazing. It's OVER, Over, okay? You can do so much stuff with Facebook stories and Instagram stories on there. They have templates, everything. So basically, it's somebody putting a post on their wall about a product or the business, whatever you decide you want to do. And when they tag you in it, you're going to react to it. You might put some before and after pictures in the comments. There's so many different ways to do host to post. But in that training, like I said, I cover exactly what I do. And I focused heavily last month on ThermoFi X because that's what's hot, that's what's new. Spring break's coming, summer's coming. People want to tone up, they want to lose weight, and they want to look good, right? Everybody wants that. I don't care who you are, everybody does, to some extent at least, right? So for that, I have a host post I use for ThermoFi. I have them post it, and I put 3 to 4 before and after pictures in the comments. I react to the post, and then whoever comments, I message them, and I give them information about ThermoFi X, okay? I never, ever, ever only talk about ThermoFi X. Even though the host post is about ThermoFi X, I always focus on what we call an upgrade package. We call it triple threat. It's like the new triple threat, okay? So it's the Cleanse, Fat Fighters, and ThermoFi X. So essentially, you're taking a 30 volume order to a 91 volume order. Now, let me break this down in case this doesn't make sense, okay? You sign 10 30 volume orders and you're almost to $400, okay? You sign 4 91s and you're almost to 400. Which one would you rather do? Okay? Because ultimately you make more money, your customers get better results, and this way you have to work 10 times harder. So you tell me which one makes more sense, right? You guys, I always had this perspective, and I talk about it in this training, that I was like, if I'm signing 5 to 6 customers a day, and regardless of the volume, I never paid attention to volume. I was like, if I'm signing multiple customers a day, I'm a master roller. I got this. I'm good. I'm successful, right? Because that was my mindset for whatever reason. Because obviously I'm still benefiting my business and I'm enrolling and I'm consistent. But when we went to conference, I had this conversation with a double on our bigger team, and she gave me this tip about this upgrade package, and I just tweaked it and worded it a little bit differently than her. And then we touched base a few weeks later, and she was like, "Holy crap!" We took out one sentence, okay, and you'll hear it in that training. But basically, what was happening was, instead of just offering the TFX, which is what I was signing in January, she offered that tip to me, and I was like, wait, what? You upgrade people? Like, I had always heard about people adding on products and upgrading your packages, but I just never took the time to do it, not for any specific reason. I think I just had that mindset where I was like, if I can get them in for $30, I'm getting them in right now as soon as I can, rather than asking them to spend more money and then losing them completely, right? That was my mindset. But I went to conference after having this tip and trying to figure it out and work for me from her. And I heard Christy Christensen on one of the panels. I can't remember what panel it was, but she gave a tip and she literally said, "We don't 30 BV nobody." And I was like, wait, what? Like, can you say that again? I need you to repeat it 10 times. And it instantly, like, light bulb, you guys. I was like, okay, so I'm never signing somebody for 30 volume ever again, because like, if you guys don't follow her, she's obviously amazing. She's top income earner. She's awesome. And they focus heavily on their team about upgrading their packages, and it should be 60 BV or more. And I was like, oh my God, mind blowing. So I instantly flipped my perspective and gained that confidence of, I'm making this work because I'm going to make sure I educate my customers on those products so they know they're getting the best deal, and I'm giving them the best results as well, because that's my job, right? But I'm also maximizing that sale at the same time because it's a business, right? So in that training, I covered pretty much literally every detail about those host posts, and what I do and how those tips work. But essentially, you guys, the bottom line of what makes it work is, instead of just offering the TFX by itself, I never give individual pricing about those products. I only offer them that package. And the only pricing they get is that package. And if they say they can't afford that $97 for that package, I bump it down to the $61, which is the TFX and the Fat Fighter. And I educate them on why those two pair well together so they can get the best results. And I explain all of that in that training too. But you're working your way from a 91 to a 55 to a 30, right? Rather than, hey, would you want to spend $36 and get the TFX? But I recommend getting these 3 products in addition, and that's 97. They're going to be like, Soak. I don't want to hear anything that you have to say, because it's in my head now that I can spend $36 and get results and not spend extra money, right? So go watch that. It's 2 hours long, but that's the reason why I have it recorded, because it literally goes over every single detail and message and everything that I do to make those work. But it's ultimately in the conversations. It's not necessarily the host post itself, you guys. It's the conversation you're having with the people and educating them on the product. That's the biggest thing. But the biggest thing and tip that I'll leave you guys with is it's all about your mindset, okay? You have to go into those conversations assuming the sale before you ever open your mouth. And if you're excited and you're doing your part and you're educating them on what those products do, reminding them it's an investment in them, okay, whether they spend $10 or they spend $100, it's an investment. And your job is not to know their budget. Your job is to give them the best recommendation that's going to get them the best results, regardless of their budget. They decide what their budget is. You don't. So your job is to give them what's going to get them the best results. So definitely go watch that. I sent her the link, but I promise you it is life-changing. I think in that Zoom, we also talk about the push chat that I do. That was another big thing that helped us go press that I didn't even talk about. But I basically created this push chat for all the leadership. Well, not really leadership, but just really, I've envisioned everybody as a leader, to be honest, because everybody has leadership potential if they want, right? Yep. So it's basically like a chat that we do every single month, and I call mine, we are top 75, because our goal is to be top 75. And it's basically like, we started out with 11 people, and let me just give you guys a glimpse of what this chat is, okay? Because I'm pretty sure that this Zoom talks about it. We started it in January, the second week of January. So we did it for 2 weeks in January, okay? 2 weeks. We had over 400 enrollments just from that chat, and there was 11 people in that chat.
400 enrollments, like customers and distributors.
Yes. From the chat, not my team.
Wow.
Okay. And then in February, we had like 800 or 900, I think.
From that 11, or did you add to that?
No, I think in February we had like, I want to say like 15 or 17, because you have to realize, like, we add all these people at the beginning of the month because there's certain restrictions on how to get into the chat.
Okay.
But they are required to do certain tasks every single day, submit proof every single night. Like, it is legit. It's not everybody come all free for all. It is, this is work. This is serious. You're in or you're out. And if you want to do the work and you're willing to do it, it's not because I want to be somebody's boss by any means. It's to hold them accountable, and it's a commitment they make to them and to their business. And so if they're willing to do the work and be committed and be, held accountable, then it pays off, right? And so every so many enrollments we do, like if we do, so basically in that chat, just to give you guys a glimpse of how it works, is every time somebody enrolls a loyal customer or distributor, it's kind of like a boom post where they post the screenshot and they put LC number 1, LC number 2, LC number 3, and we just count up. And every time we get to 100 enrollments, they win a Zoom with a top leader of their choice, and it's a one-on-one Zoom with just that chat and that leader. And usually we'll cover a specific topic, or we'll just do a free-for-all and they can ask questions to that leader. And so it's a one-on-one time with that person. And then we do like little prizes and stuff like that, but that's like exclusive to them. So that's kind of what they get rewarded with, because that's not like something that everybody gets. And it's been so beneficial. But the whole point is to get people enrolling. And you guys, I had people in that chat in the beginning that never enrolled, and now they're mass enrolling, and now they're promoting, and it's because they weren't doing the level of work that they needed to do to make it happen. Like, for example, one of the tasks every day is to message 200 people every day.
For LC, right?
Anybody. It can be host to post, it can be follow-ups, it can be anything, but it's 200 messages every single day. And that might blow your mind. When we started it was 100 messages, and we got people used to it. And then when we started increasing it, we increase the tasks. But ultimately, you guys, like, it should freak you out. And it should scare you a little bit and be like, oh my God, what? That's 200 messages. But if you're doing tasks like that every single day, that is what's going to get you to double and triple and prez and ambassador, because you're talking to so many people a day. You should be enrolling every 72 hours, if not every day.
Yep.
You guys, can you please just like give Cassie a round of freaking applause? Because you guys, I'm freaking like, this is why I say you learn every freaking meeting you get on. And a lot of you that are on our team, I have never seen your face till tonight, and you've been in our business for months. Thank you for showing up.
And now,
this is what you've been missing. This is what you've been missing. This is why there's certain people on your team that are enrolling. Why am I not enrolling? Because you're not doing shit. I'm sorry, but that's a God's honest truth. So I love Jesus, but I cuss a little because she just doesn't do it for me in this. This is a presidential team. We are a presidential team. I've known that. And just like Cassie, like she and I have been back and forth for 3 years now, because she joined the same year I did. We have had people quit. We've had life happen, but you cannot quit before God like just tears the veil open and he's like, oh, here's your team you're going to be pressed with, because it's going to be easy. Triple was easy for me. And I get emotional because it's never been that way. We were just like, we got this. But it was because the people on my team right now have the mindset that I have. That's it. Cassie, thank you so much.
Yes.
Like,
Oh my God.
we're always learning. I'm almost 4 years in and I still learn. That's why we have to help each other. That's why you got to show up to go up. I need you to text me your address. I have something for you. Thank you for being on here with us tonight. I want my team to stay on an extra 5 minutes, if you guys will. Cassie, you're gold. And I'm so freaking proud of you, Prez.
Well, let me know if you guys have any questions or you like need anything or you need me to elaborate on anything. I'm pretty sure I talk about majority of that stuff in that Zoom. That's why it was 2 hours long.
So I'm going to go watch it tonight. I want to know all this push stuff because
it's long, but it's fine. It's like, it's not like pointless talk. Cause like Kelsey Thornton, if you know her, she's the one that hosted that. And like, she does not play around with time. And so we looked down and we were like, oh my God, it's been 2 hours. We need to cut this off. So, but anyways, it's really good. But let me know if you guys need anything or you have any questions.
Thank you so much.
So
Love you, girl.
We love
Appreciate
you.
you. You're amazing. Y'all, what?
What?
Dude, I am like, so there are 45 people on this chat. I know we have several teams on here right now because I wanted more than just our team to benefit from this. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm going Presidential Diamond next month, which means there's going to be a lot of people on our team promoting. So I'm going to do what she told me to do. I'm going to print out everybody's charts. I know Jenny's over there going, I'm going triple this month. Why not go press tomorrow? I know, because I talked to her like on the day, Lee. But I want to get some feedback. Alexandra. You know, I'm just going to rename you. I'm just too excited. I'm speaking in tongues. So what do you think? How are you feeling about your promotion, your next jump to triple after that Zoom with Cassie? But I can't hear you.
No.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
I mean, shoot, we're going to freaking do it now. I mean, y'all, that stuff is gold. Like, come on. If you're not excited, then what are you doing? Like, we got to get excited. Like, if that didn't excite you, I don't know what to tell you, because everything she was saying was just absolutely incredible. And like everyone, I don't care if you just started or you've been in the business, like you can take everything she said and apply it and start tonight. Not tomorrow. Why'd start tomorrow? Start tonight. Like start now. Yeah. And then that's what's going to make the difference and have that motivation and that drive literally every single day. Mm-hmm. And you know, I love that she was like, oh, well, you know, if someone says no or doesn't want to do it, keep going. Like that's literally, I think that's where I feel like so many of us get so like, not for me now. They said no. No, keep going. Like, if you want to do this, do it. Like, hell yeah. Let's go. Come on.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I loved, and it's so cool that she said this because Alexandra and I have been doing this, but getting on the phone, texting personal people that you know have a fire that life is happening to. What can you do to help? If you've never been stepped up as a leader and you have people under you that you've enrolled and you've kind of left them by the wayside, you can start over right now and get with those people and say, we're doing this. We're doing this. And it's got to be something where you lead your team. And even when I was a Ruby, Lexi treated me like a leader. She let me do Zooms. She let me do all these things so that I could learn. But I also studied in the background. If there was a new product coming out, I went and Googled the heck out of that product so that I knew how to talk to people about it. And that's another thing. And I love that she talked about this too, because when you're a Ruby and building for Emerald and Diamond, well, used to, it was still a lot of people. But when you're building for Ruby, you got 3 people under you. You can lead those people. But when you have over 700 people under you like I do, it gets insane, y'all. And so the truth is we got to get smarter and say, okay, I don't know this question. And this happened today. And I'm glad that it happened because I can use it as an example. If you are asking for an example, like if you're asking how something works, or if it can be used for this or that, and you don't get an answer, Google's your best friend. I promise you. Because that's what I had to do a lot, because Lexi, she told me later, but she wouldn't answer me for hours. And I'd be sitting there like, come on, I got to answer this person. But then I had to go look it up. Duh.
She knew
she knew I wasn't going to wait because I'm impatient. Like, girl, I got to answer this person. So take the initiative and go figure that answer out. Figure the answer out, or find another leader, because there are going to be so many leaders on your team. But for you to become a leader, you've got to figure out how to answer someone's question. But you can also give them that time to go tell them to find it themselves. Y'all, I posted on the Lifers page today, oh, where can I find this? It was because my eSuite was down for certain areas. And literally Aaron Tweed goes, it's under this section. I'm like, well, duh, it's under that section. I can't find it, but then I found it. So everybody does that. That's how we teach. If you are interested in doing the push chat, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to have a triple. I'm going to have new doubles. I'm going to have new diamonds, new emeralds, new rubies on my team this month. And I'm going to have them on my team next month. There will be requirements. I love that. I love that she has this push chat where there are requirements to be in this chat. I'm going to have requirements. And I bet Jenny is too. She's like, I don't do that push thing. We're going to push. And we're going to push starting tonight. Because if she did it the last 2 weeks of January and they pulled in how many people? 400 with 11 people? Y'all. We going Ambi. I'm going to get a puppy dog and name it Ambi because we're going to be ambassador this year. Holla. Okay. So you guys, I love you. And I'm going to post this as soon as I can. I'm going to get some of the host to post some of the scripts together that I already have from Cassie and I'm going to put them on the team page. So if you are one that's not active in your group me chat, turn on that freaking group me chat. Too many people miss out on announcements and all kinds of tips and tricks. Same thing. I don't care if you're not active on Facebook, be active with the team page, because everything that you need to know, it gets really frustrating when you do meetings all the time and 50 people end up messaging you the next 48 hours because they don't have their notifications turned on, and I have to repeat the same thing. I'm saying this with love as a leader, okay? But we're all a 1099 business, as Ashley Mayfield says. So I don't give 2 farts if you just didn't want to be on the Zoom, okay? This is what I love to do. I love to do it, but I don't love answering the same farting question 20 times after I've already spent, an hour of my time trying to train my team, the people that wanted to show up. If you don't know how to do your auto shipment, you don't know how to turn it on and off, you don't know how to do all these things, you better get yourself on your eSuite and learn it. Or you go on our team page and look at all the trainings that we've done in the past 2 months for all the newbies that teaches you how to do that. It's so funny. Every day on my auto ship ran, and you know what I say? It's because you haven't been on train team. Okay. So I love you guys. We're going big. We're not going home. But I will slow down the car to let you get out if you don't want to go, because we're going big. Right, Gully?
We're going.
We're going.
So if you want to be in the push chat, let us know.
Message me, and we're going to get this going. I love y'all. Oh, bye.